Welcome to Mental Game Mastery, where we dive into the world of sports psychology and peak performance, designed for you to level up your athletic career.
Have you ever felt stuck in a cycle of trying to change but not succeeding? You're not alone. Many athletes face this challenge, constantly hitting a wall despite their best efforts to change. Today, we're going to break that cycle. Hey there, athletes. I'm your host, Coach Pete, bringing you mental performance insights and stories from being in the trenches of athletic coaching. As a mental performance coach, I get the privilege to work with all athletes across all sports. And it's a new year, a new quarter. More, how about right now? We are in part 3 of my series on habits. Being an athlete, playing your sport is what you do and not who you are. So let's explore how reshaping your identity can be the key to mastering your habits and in turn, elevate your performance. Your belief in you determines how you perform. It's a profound yet simple truth. You do what you do because of what you think of you. When you make a choice, it's often based on your self-identity. This is important for athletes. How you see yourself can directly impact how you train, how you perform. So let's create clarity to understand what I mean by self-identity. It's how you see yourself, not just as an athlete, but as a person. And this encompasses your beliefs, your values, and the way you interact with the world around you. For you as an athlete, this could mean seeing yourself as resilient, disciplined, loving, or gritty. Your identity is the lens through which you view your capabilities and your potential. Most athletes can get caught up in their feelings, in their feels, dictating their behavior, which then drives how they view themselves or their identity, which means they let their feelings control their performance. And what needs to happen is a reframing to where an athlete has created a strong sense of self, which then in turn controls the performance. So instead of feeling, behavior, identity, it's more like identity, behavior, feelings. When we have a clear sense of who we are committed to being, that's our identity. And that should determine what we do, not how we feel. So maybe you're committed to being a disciplined, committed athlete. Awesome. Act like one, whether you feel like it or not. Or maybe you're committed to being an amazing father or an amazing husband, an amazing wife or mother. Awesome. Act like one, whether you feel like it or not. Identity, behavior, feelings. So, who are you committed to being? And how can you start reshaping your identity for better performance? Well, here are some strategies. Number 1, affirmations and visualizations. Start with positive affirmations and visualizations. See yourself succeeding, breaking records, or mastering that new technique. Reinforce this with affirmations like, I am a committed athlete, I am a disciplined athlete, or I am a resilient athlete. And after you actually do it, say to yourself, that's like me. And number 2, reflect on your strengths and successes. Journal a list of your strengths and past successes. This exercise helps shift your focus from what you lack to what you already possess. And number 3, set and achieve small wins. Achieving small wins each and every day reshapes how you see yourself. Each success, each win, no matter how small, builds your identity as the athlete you want to be. So humor me for a moment. Let's do a quick exercise. Think of a recent challenge. Now, reframe it. What did it teach you? How did it contribute to your growth as an athlete? And this kind of mindset shift is fundamental in reshaping your identity. If your sole source of change is relying on motivation, well, it's like pulling up a weed without getting to the root. To truly change your habits, start with changing how you see yourself. Ask yourself this question: what habit have I struggled to change? And how do I need to see myself to make the habit I want to implement a part of who I am, a part of my identity? Think of a habit that adds value to your life. And how can you increase this habit? And is there an athlete with habits that you admire? What about their identity that helps them maintain these habits? Remember, it's not just about changing what you do, it's about changing what you think of you. And I'm going to end with a couple of concepts from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, in which he presents a couple different ways to approach habits. He calls one outcome based and the other identity based. Bottom line is we want to start with identity based. Rather than start with thinking about what we want to achieve and how we're going to get there, James tells us that we want to start by thinking about who we are committed to becoming. And I call it the who before the do. But it's the engine that drives the creation of the habits you want and the elimination of the ones that you don't. So start with the who. Who do you want to become? And the next concept from his book is, are your habits in line with that best version of you? Remember, as I defined earlier, your identity will drive your behavior. So Clear tells us, and I'll paraphrase, the more you repeat a behavior, the more you reinforce the identity associated with that behavior. Therefore, your identity becomes your repeated beingness. It's literally what you do and who you repeatedly are. Thus, Aristotle says, excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but rather we have because we have acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. What's interesting to note is that you can reframe your identity by choosing to be a different person and or choosing to do different things. So if you want to be a leader, well, then lead. If you want to be an artist, well, then draw. If you want to be a better athlete, then train. Act as if. Want to be that next level athlete? Act as if. So who do you want to be on your athletic journey? And are you repeatedly doing that version of you? If you found this insightful and helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. Share this video with other athletes, with your coaches, and definitely subscribe for more insights on mental performance. Be sure to share your own strategies for your mental game. Don't be shy. And until next time, stay composed, continue to build great habits, and look to perform at your best when it matters most. And remember, the time is now.